about talking to machines or machines talking to humans. Everybody wants to be a cat because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
Halo semuanya, welcome to We The Future, sebuah podcast dari Weir Group yang akan membahas mengenai segala sesuatu yang berkaitan dengan inovasi dan teknologi masa depan. Nah, di We The Future kita akan membahas mulai dari Artificial Intelligence atau AI, Augmented Reality atau AR, Virtual Reality atau VR, sampai ke Metaverse dengan berbagai narasumber yang menarik. Dan jangan lupa untuk subscribe channel YouTube Weir Group, di follow We The Future Podcast di streaming platform, dan follow kita juga di social media @weirgroup.id untuk selalu terupdate dengan episode-episode baru dari We The Future Podcast. My name is Yasha Hatap and I will be the host for this episode. Di episode kali ini kita akan berbicara banyak mengenai Artificial Intelligence, bagaimana penggunaannya AI ini di masa depan akan mengubah kehidupan kita. Dan kita sudah kedatangan narasumber yang sangat paham mengenai Artificial Intelligence, Pak Preben Wick. How are you?
Hi, Pak Yasha. I'm very good, thank you. Happy to be here.
Glad to have you here. Now, first things first, yeah? Please tell us, how is the development of AI nowadays?
It's going so fast that even I have lost track.
Is there an AI that keeps track of the development of AI?
Could be.
Yeah, that's a good idea, right?
That would be a good idea.
So it would be interesting if I were to have a discussion about AI with an AI that keeps up about the progress of AI.
Progress of AI. Yeah.
All right. So is there any types of artificial intelligence, and what is that? Are there different types?
Sure. The word is being used in many different areas. My field of expertise is what's called conversational AI. So that's about talking to machines or machines talking to humans. So that has to do with conversation and so on. And then people, because it's such a hyped word and such a popular word, all kinds of businesses wants to put AI into their whatever products. So almost any product you can find today, they've added a little bit of AI spice to their product. And you can be a little bit suspicious about what is it really? What is the AI ingredient that they put in here? Many different kinds.
Many different kinds of AI. What about AI in the metaverse? What is the role of AI in the metaverse?
Then I think you mean like an avatar that looks like a person, but it doesn't have a real person in it. It just has a software. So what in computer games are called an NPC, which is a non-playing character. That's what you have in mind when you say an AI, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's interesting linguistically how it has changed from being a word that is not used like that today, that you could say an AI and you mean an entity that is almost like a human being. But yeah, those I'm sure will have a very important and integral part of the metaverse.
Okay, so when we were talking about the metaverse, you're talking about NPC or the non-playable character, yeah? It could be different characters in the form of humans, in the forms of animals. If we were to have stray cats running around in the metaverse, that would be an NPC.
Yeah, that would typically be an
NPC. So I mean, just like in real life, there's stray cats, different colors and different behaviors, meaning that each one would be a different AI.
Yeah,
and that can be trained or behave based on the experiences that it has. For instance, maybe there's a stray cat that live in the garbage area of the metaverse. If there's a garbage area, right? There's a dumpster area of metaverse, right. And there's an AI of a cat that lives, in a nice home. So they would probably behave differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Over time.
Yeah, they would still behave cat-like.
Cat-like.
So they would have commonalities, right? The common denominator for all cats,
Right. Just like cats in real
like
life.
cats in real life. Exactly.
IRL.
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 Exactly, in real life.
IKR.
We would have cats that are still easily identified as a cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, some living in a posh home and some living in the dumpster.
Yeah.
Is this what was that called? Aristocats? Yeah,
Aristocats.
An old-time classic
the
Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old reference. We can show a clip of that maybe. Aristocats.
Yeah.
Producers. Just, take a note.
Everybody wants to be a cat because the cat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
I don't
The
know it
classic
that
song,
well,
okay.
but I'm sure we'll dig in some old footage from old tapes.
Right.
All right. So, what are the main types of the artificial intelligence technologies that are shaping the metaverse?
Say again?
What are the different type of artificial intelligence? I mean, we're talking about that. Does it can actually work in other ways aside from being characters? The artificial intelligence.
Well, so the main architecture under the hood of artificial intelligence today is something called the neural net. And so it's a software program that is based on, like, artificial intelligence has gone through like 3 waves in the history of mankind. It started somewhere 50s, 60s when the computers first came, and we thought it would be very easy job. Once we had these computers, they would be mimicking human intelligence in 5 years' time or something. And there was a first idea of how to create human-like thinking in computers that was like rule-based. You made a bunch of if-then kind of, if the person says this, then, and you very quickly find out that this is not gonna work. This is not sustainable, kind of. And so maybe the trend of AI, maybe it kind of died out and they said, oh, this is not a good idea anyway. A number of years after, maybe in the 80s, there was a new wave, and what's called artificial neural networks that mimicked how the brain works with neurons and sending signals to other neurons and layers of neurons, and so it was a new way of coding. And they had promising results, and then again they thought, oh, in 5 years' time we've solved this thing, and
Not yet.
and then 5 years went by, and it worked out that they could do very basic stuff, but they didn't really perform. They couldn't level up. Then recently, let's say in the last maybe 10 years, again the third wave, also using the same architecture with neural networks, but they made them because computers are much more powerful, and they made more neurons, more layers. It's called hidden layers. So the architecture, something called deep neural networks, and all of a sudden they managed to make groundbreaking, amazing results that kind of woke up the discussion about artificial intelligence again. And this hype that we've seen in the last 10 years or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of hype, and also there's people have been talking about artificial intelligence in sci-fi films, and I think there's a difference with what has been portrayed in entertainment than what has actually been achieved. Now, in terms of real life business application, how impactful has AI been in the world of business, and what are some of the examples of that?
So far, or what we have
What we
today?
have now that maybe we take for granted.
Right. Yeah, I mean, numerous, many. But I'll just say whatever pops into my head then. Now, if you have at the stock exchange, people trading, I think today no trading is being done by other, like professional trading is all being done by artificial intelligence. And then you have people like maybe you and me who do not know and who have some extra money, and okay, I put my money on a weird group because I think they are sexy and promising and so on. But if you're a professional trader, you rely on some kind of artificial intelligence software. But I'd say in almost every facet of the life, how you can analyze large amounts of data, and wherever large amounts of data will make it beneficial for your company. If you're a car salesman, or you have a grocery store, you will find it almost everywhere today.
Recently I have spoken with some friends about the declining birth rate and the population in some countries, some nations of it's becoming less and less, and the population is aging as well, and less and less babies are being born, and how will artificial intelligence get into or become part of the lives of these people who are growing old, probably without offsprings? Is that something that what is the possibility of life in that sense with life with artificial intelligence and less people?
We don't have a less people problem in Indonesia, right?
No,
you still have a lot of people here, and they are very young. The population is very young here. But of course,
in countries, even in the U.S., birth rate is going down. In places like Japan, more and more people having no babies there. So we are currently assuming that there's going to be a population with less young people or with less offspring, and is that a new opportunity for AI in terms of companionship?
Right. Yeah. No. So then back to the type of AI that many people associate with the word, that it's something a little bit humanoid, and maybe it doesn't have to look humanoid, but something that can talk and think and so on. So not the machine that trades on the stock exchange or stuff like that, for example.
Conversational.
But a conversational AI.
Conversational AI.
Yeah.
That's also your expertise.
Yeah, that's what I have studied for some time. So yeah, let's talk about conversational AI and the development of conversational AI. So having it for old people, you say?
Yeah.
Like then you're thinking like companion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
could, because they're lonely.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just having someone to talk to.
Right.
I mean, like for now, when you have Siri on Apple, or you have Alexa on Amazon, then you kind of talk to them. You request for them to do certain things, right? And and it should be able to talk back and give you feedback of things that you say. So, what do you think?
For sure. And so I think they would be, in a sense, capable of it. And maybe, at least in that context, it's worth to also ask ourselves why we would want to talk to an AI. So to have like Alexa or the Google assistants, like, hey, play this song for me, or how much is what's the population of Jakarta, or all kinds of things. Then you talk to it because you request a song or information or something like that. So to talk just because you want to talk, maybe that's a lot what we do when we're alone with our life partner and so on as well.
Yeah.
Or do we have a clear agenda with when we talk, when we sit at dinner and we just chit chat?
Yeah. Or, for instance, this is maybe we're in a condition. I mean, you have a parent who's an elderly. So does same situation with me. Perhaps they want to log in their daily condition. Like, I'm not so feeling so great, or maybe I'm just very healthy today, and then the AI would help record that in whatever form, and then have that report logged, so that when there's a need for health professionals come in and check some data, that would be recorded.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be very smooth and a fairly straightforward application to make.
Yeah, I think that's something we should make.
Yeah, that could be.
All right.
Now, my mother, she had a stroke about 5 years ago, and so she lost part of her abilities, what's called aphasia, which can go in different ways. But so it's she cannot find the words so easily. So she can say simple sentences, but then she always got, what is that called? And then we have typical charades, when you make gestures and stuff, and then the other people should guess.
Yeah.
And so I could say, so are we talking about food? And she's like, no, we're talking, or yes, we're talking about food. Okay, so is it a vegetable? Yes. So she knows exactly what she's looking for. She just can't find the food, the name. So potato, yes, that's it. And then she can continue a little bit like that.
Okay.
So it has, our conversations have declined in quality because she has kind of given up in that sense. So it's a little bit sad. I don't have my old mom anymore because I can't talk about anything, although she understands it well. And if she reads the newspaper, reading it out loud for me works super well. And she understands what she's reading, but she cannot talk back. So it does reduces the quality of our conversation. It's not so well anymore. So having an AI to exercise when people get a stroke and they lose part of their ability, because you need to, practice those. It's like a muscle. Maybe for some, the stroke has been so severe that there's no way back. But for many people, it's there are ways to get back, and then something about how often do you train. And we don't have the time or the energy to do it enough. So things like that could, of course, improve the quality of life for an old people.
Yeah. So that's just one aspect of how we can use AI to,
for example,
to improve the lives of people.
Yeah.
People in need. So it's sometimes it's not something that is so far-fetched, and it's not about creating new solutions, making things up.
Right.
But because it's there, we just have to be able to identify what problems need to be that can be helped with AI.
Yeah. And of course, we could think of more far-fetched ideas where, well, now the husband of my mother is dead. My father then. But if, for example, while a person is still alive, and have an AI interview a person and just record. So if I was an AI, and I would tell you, Pakyasha, tell me about your childhood. And you would start like, oh, when I was this summer of when I was 6 years old, this and that happened. And I'm like, interesting. Tell me more. And tell me about your mother. And, having that interview session. And you could have that go on for days. And you record all that material. Then when you die, we have kind of data. We have your voice, we have all those things. So then your grandchildren or your wife who's still alive could start to talk to you in that sense. So we can make
some
a robot.
limited conversation.
And depending on how deep an interview we made, your grandchildren could then say, oh, Grandpa, tell me about, when you were a kid. And then you would have all those memories that you've recorded, and you could tell them back.
Would you want to do that, something like that?
So yeah, well...
Would you want to do that?
Would I want to be that grandpa that lives forever and that my grandchildren...
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Me neither.
Yeah. And I think maybe my grandchildren, once I'm dead, would enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of neat.
Right. Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. All right, so that's it for today's episode, and thank you for listening. So to We the Future, before we go, show some love for your favorite podcast by leaving us a review, and you can leave us a comment. Kalian juga bisa kasih saran mau bahas the future world tentang apa aja di sini, dan jangan lupa untuk subscribe channel YouTube Weird Group. Follow We the Future yang juga podcast di streaming platform, dan juga follow kita di social media @weirdgroup.id untuk selalu terupdate dengan episode-episode baru dari We the Future Podcast. Sampai ketemu di episode selanjutnya We the Future Podcast. The future is in here. I'm Yashahtab, signing out. Bye.